this video, I'm going to show you how to make a medicinal dose of tea. My name is Herbalist Sam. You might already know me because you're a client of mine. And in that case, then you probably have your tea blend that we made custom for you and your situation ready to go, and you're ready to make your first batch of tea. If you're not a client of mine, you might just be interested in teas for health, wellness, or whatever case it may be. And in either of those cases, I think that's great, and we can get started. So first we have our tea blend in front of us. I have it in a bowl because I just made this tea blend. You might have it in a container. Great. If you want to learn how to make your own tea blends, you can hop over to the other video where we go through that. I'll link it somewhere below. But here we have our tea blend ready to go. So what I like to use is 1 quart or 1 liter French press. The reason why I like that is because a typical dose or medicinal dose of tea is typically 1 liter or 1 quart a day. That's not always the case, but it's often the case. And so that's why we're gonna go with that in this video. If you're my client and I told you otherwise, then go with what we talked about in our session. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are gonna take our French press, and it's 1 quart or 1 liter, and then we're gonna put 3 to 4 tablespoons of our blend in the French press. So you could take an actual tablespoon measurement. I typically just take like a normal bigger spoon and just do 1 heaping spoonful of that. It turns out to be around the same, so that's just what my habit is, but you can do either, and it's up to you. So I'm just gonna do it how I normally would. So I'm gonna put in 3 to 4 heaping tablespoons. Try both and see what taste sounds best to you. I usually put in 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I brought my electric tea kettle to a roaring boil, and it just finished boiling. So now I'm gonna pour the boiled water right on top. You don't need an electric tea kettle. I think it's easier. It is one of my favorite appliances. So I just poured it on top, and then I'm gonna cover it right away because there might be aromatic herbs in there. And in this blend there are. And the reason why we want to cover it right away is to trap those aromatic constituents in there so you're able to drink them and enjoy them and get the benefits of them so they don't evaporate away. They're very lightweight, and so they evaporate if you don't cover it. And you might have noticed I just pushed this down and pulled it up. I like to do that once or twice just to get the herbs all around, and so it extracts even better. You don't have to do it more. Sometimes while you're letting it infuse, you could do it once or twice. It's not necessary, but sometimes you can do it. All right, so now I'm gonna set a timer for 15 to 20 minutes. And that's typically how long you want it to infuse for. It can be longer. The way I like to practice is at least 15 to 20 minutes. But sometimes I make my blend the night before and let it infuse all night long and then drink it the next day. That's typically fine. This is a general and typical way to make teas, but if you have a specific goal to make it for a specific blend, you might make it a different way. So I'm just going to give you 2 quick examples. If you are trying to get minerals extracted from the herbs, then 15 to 20 minutes will not be long enough, but you're going to want at least a 4-hour extraction, and that would be an appropriate time to do an overnight extraction. So there are times and situations where you might want to do it differently. Another time that you might want to make your infusion a little differently is if you're trying to get some moistening actions out of the herbs. And then you would want to either do a cold infusion or a hot infusion, let it cool down, and then let it sit for longer. But that's not what we're doing in this video. In this video, we're just doing a typical 20-minute infusion, and that's generally fine, unless we talked otherwise about that. So we're gonna let it sit for 15 to 20 minutes, and then we're gonna give it a try and see if we like our blend. Okay, we fast forwarded through time. It's been 20 minutes, and so I think we should try our tea. So just for good luck, I might push this down and pull it up one more time, get all the herbs to mix around. I'm going to show you what I typically do when I make tea. So what I do is I just push it down enough to where I want to pour that amount out. And so I'll do that. I'm just going to pour out a little bit right now just for the purposes of this video, because I want to let it cool faster. So I don't know if you can see, but there's a little bit of that difference. I'm going to pull it back up because I'm going to let my herbs keep infusing. If you're my client and I didn't tell you there's a reason not to do that, then go ahead, let it infuse longer. That's just the way I typically practice, especially with the herbs that I typically recommend. Like I said, it depends on the situation, the reason, the person, the herbs, but this is a general video. So that's what I like to do. And then it just gets to infuse even longer. So that's going to be there. I see it's nice and steamy, so it's still hot. It's always a good idea to smell your tea because you're breathing in any of those aromatic herbs, and it's just a way to get all of your senses involved in the tea experience, especially if you're drinking a tea for your nervous system, anxiety, stress. I don't want to get into specifics in this video, but I can't help myself. So that's a time where I would especially be smelling the tea and trying to get all my senses involved, because it really, your sense of smell has like there is a strong link to your nervous system. So it's a great little extra. Okay, I'm just gonna blow. Blah, I'm just kidding. No, it's good. I like it. It's still pretty hot, so it's hard to really taste it. So we're gonna let it cool down a little bit more. But I'm just gonna go ahead and drink my tea. And as I continue to drink, I'll keep on pushing down, adding more in. And once I get to the end, I'll, finish it. And then I've finished my 1 quart or 1 liter for the day. And that's as easy as it is. You only need to make 1/4 liter one time, and then you know how much you need to finish. It's not as easy as that, because can you drink more? Should you drink more? Oftentimes, yeah. It depends on the situation. The herbs that I typically recommend and work with, yes, they all are very gentle herbs that are all very safe, and you can drink as much as you want of it. I often encourage my clients to, but I don't want to give that as a suggestion or like a flat recommendation across the board, because there are lots of different situations. There are different types of blends, and so it's not an always type of thing. So if you're my client, then you know what we talked about and what your situation is. And if you're not, then you can test things out or do more research or talk to somebody that knows a little bit more about that. So another thing, can you use the same herbs twice? Yes, you can, and I encourage you to. I think it's a great way to save a little money, or like extend the tea and the herbs. So I will often finish it and then make a second pot of boiled water and use the same herbs and do the same process for the second round. If I do that and I realize, oh, it's not too strong, maybe then next time you could put in a little bit more of the first batch. So maybe you do tend to have 4 tablespoons instead of 3, or maybe you add just like 1 tablespoon on top for the second round, just to get those flavors and everything in there as well. But I definitely encourage you to do that. It'll also get you to drink more tea. I would recommend doing that within the same day though, and not saving the herbs for the next day, because then they might go bad. Yeah. So I hope you enjoy your tea. Happy drinking. If you are a client of mine and you have any questions at all, you know where to reach out. You don't have to wait till your next session. You can email me at any point. And if you're not a client of mine, but you are interested in working with an herbalist and holistic health practitioner, I welcome you to schedule an appointment or poke around and see what other videos I have on YouTube or my website. So feel free to like and subscribe, or to head on over to my website and check out what I have to offer. Thank you for watching this video, and cheers!